Hello and welcome. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that gets thrown around a lot, often in ways that don't quite capture the full picture. We're talking about Obsessive Compulsive Disorder, or OCD, and we're going to deconstruct it, getting way beyond the simple stereotypes.
I mean, come on, you've heard this, right? Maybe you've even said it yourself. It's become this casual shorthand for being neat or organized. But using OCD like this, well, it really masks a much, much deeper and often painful reality for a lot of people.
Because here's the thing, the actual disorder, according to the Royal College of Psychiatrists, it affects an estimated 1 in 50 people in the UK. That is a lot of people whose daily experience is so much more than just a preference for a tidy desk.
So this is the core question we're really digging into today. Is OCD just a personality quirk, something to joke about, or is it a genuinely complex disorder? Let's find out.
Okay, first things first. Let's get something crystal clear. OCD is not a personality trait. It's not just being a bit particular. It is a very specific pattern of thoughts and behaviors that are all rooted in a profound sense of distress. The disorder really has two main parts. On one side, you've got the obsessions. These are the thoughts, the intrusive, uncontrollable, unwanted ideas or fears that just pop into your head and cause a ton of anxiety. And on the other side, you've got the compulsions. These are the actions, either physical or mental, that you feel you have to do to get some relief from that anxiety. The key is to remember, the obsession is the thought, and the compulsion is the action you take to try and shut it up.
Now, here's where it gets really tricky. These two things, obsessions and compulsions, they're not separate. They're locked in this incredibly powerful, self-perpetuating cycle. So let's break down exactly how this four-step loop works.
So it all starts with the obsession. This isn't just a worry, it's an overwhelming, all-consuming fear or concern. For example, a constant nagging fear that your house is going to be burgled, even if there's absolutely no reason to think that.
And that thought isn't just a passing thing. It triggers a huge emotional response. That's step 2, this intense, gripping anxiety and distress. The obsession puts your brain on high alert, creating this awful feeling that you just have to get rid of.
So how do you get rid of it? Well, your brain screams at you to do something, and that's the compulsion. In our example, it might be checking that the front door is locked. Not just once, though. Maybe you have to check it exactly 3 times, or 5, or 10, in a very specific ritual.
And for a moment, it works. You perform the compulsion and, the anxiety subsides. But, and this is the absolute trap of OCD, that relief is only temporary. It's a quick fix. And before you know it, the obsessive thought comes roaring back, and the whole cycle kicks off again.
So let's put it all together. You have the obsession, which creates intense anxiety. That anxiety drives you to perform a compulsion. And the compulsion gives you that brief moment of relief. But that relief is what actually reinforces the whole cycle, making the obsession-anxiety connection even stronger the next time around. It's a truly vicious loop.
Okay, so why? Why does this happen? What is actually going on in the brain to create a cycle this powerful? A really great way to think about it is that your brain has a faulty alarm system that's just stuck in the on position.
The researcher Daniel Siegel has a fantastic name for this. He calls it the checker. He describes it as a part of our brain that's supposed to scan for danger, a totally essential survival mechanism. But in OCD, this checker goes into overdrive. It gets super hypervigilant and starts seeing threats absolutely everywhere.
Siegel's SAM model breaks this down really nicely. The checker is constantly scanning for danger. When it thinks it finds something, it alerts you, with feelings of fear and anxiety. And then it motivates you to take action to stop the bad thing from happening. In OCD, brain circuits involving areas like the caudate nucleus get jammed, basically stuck in the on position, constantly blaring that alarm.
So, if the brain's wiring is stuck, does that mean you're stuck too? Well, no. The amazing thing is, it is possible to rewire it. And there's a really practical 4-step plan for doing exactly that.
This powerful method was developed by Dr. Jeffrey Schwartz. It's called the 4 R's. First, you relabel. You recognize the intrusive thought for what it is, a symptom of OCD, a false alarm. Second, you reattribute. You remind yourself, hey, this isn't me, it's my OCD. Third, you refocus. You deliberately shift your attention to something else, something constructive or pleasant for at least 15 minutes. And finally, over time, you revalue. You learn to see that these thoughts don't actually mean anything. They have no real power. This process literally helps you retrain your brain.
But here's the thing. This rewiring process isn't about brute force or willpower. It's about a really fundamental shift in your mindset. It's about developing a new skill for managing all that internal noise. It's truly about learning to surf the waves of thought, not trying to stand up to them.
This new way of thinking starts with one crucial idea: separating the person from the problem. It's not you being OCD, it's the OCD that's making things hard. It's also so important to normalize it. Remember, that 1 in 50 number, you are not alone in this. And this isn't a sign of weakness. It's about learning a new skill to manage faulty signals from your brain.
I love this analogy. Think about skiing and hitting a big patch of ice. If you dig in your edges and try to fight it, you're just going to fall. The smart thing to do is to take the pressure off, let yourself slide for a bit, and wait until you hit some snow where you can get your control back. It's the same with these thoughts. Don't fight them head on.
Or think about it this way. It's like building immunity, You introduce small doses of something to the body so that over time it learns not to have such a huge reaction. This is the whole principle behind exposure therapy, which is a really effective treatment for OCD. You gradually build up a tolerance to the anxiety until it just doesn't have the same hold on you.
Which brings us to what might be the most powerful metaphor of all. You can't stop the ocean from having waves, right? And you can't stop your mind from producing thoughts. So the goal isn't a perfectly calm, flat ocean. The goal is to become a really good surfer, someone who can ride the highs and lows without getting knocked over and pulled under.
And that's the final thought I want to leave you with. Once you truly understand that the alarm system in your brain can be faulty, you gain this incredible power to not have to answer every single time it rings. It gives you the space to pause, to question, and ultimately to choose a different path forward. Just think about what becomes possible then.